Virgo.
Hello Virgo, this is your astrological forecast for April 2016. And so last month you had that solar eclipse in your 7th house for relationships. This means that you might by now start feeling how things have picked up and expanded and created the changes that was needed. So this month here, the sun is going to be in your 8th house alongside with Mercury, Uranus, and also that new moon. Now this window here for April is all about you now sharing yourself with that partner, sharing your resources, what is fair, what is balanced, really looking into the nitty-gritty of that and finding that perfect balance. But I also feel that it's such an energized month as the sun is moving through the sign of Aries, which is Marsy, right? So this is a month here for you now to initiate a new type of beginnings that has to do with shared resources. That's the new moon that will be coming up on April 7th. Now this area is also ruled by Scorpio since it's the 8th house. So Scorpio tends to feel deep, sense things deeply within the spirit and soul. So I feel that this could be a time where those things that you've been thinking about and probably emoting more on the inside now could surface and be shared too with your partner. And I feel that that will definitely allow things to grow a little bit deeper in the relationship area. But it's a month to look at your finances. We're not talking here, Virgo, about your income on the monthly basis or your bi-monthly basis. It's more where you're putting your money. Are you saving enough? Are you putting aside? How does your taxes look? Investments and so forth. But it also rules commissions and royalties and those things. So you might just see how this is going to come up too for you to really look at, settle and get into a new order, because it's going to be a full year before you get this chance to work it out in a very ideal way. The second area of total focus will be here within family, where we have Mars now cruising along with Saturn. So it's a time where you're going to see that you're going to be busy on fixing things in the home. All those small little projects that you've kind of put on the sideline will now come up, and you will have the energy to actually pursue them, to get them up and running. And of course, that's going to release a whole lot of mental energy where you've been thinking about that you wanted to or needed to do this and that, but actually now getting them done is such a sense of satisfaction. Saturn in this area, of course, is still retrograde, and so there might also be you looking into the roots and the foundation of your home. Maybe some long-term things that you've been wanting to fix. Great time for that as well, but it's also time for your parents, whether they might need a little bit more support or a little bit help, or it could be them the other way around, which will be helping or supporting you here at this time. Venus, as we start out the month, is still in your 7th house alongside there with Neptune. Venus being love and romance and in the area of committed relationships, and in the sign of Pisces where it was straight through that of March. Well, you know, it allows you to have more of that ideal scenario with your partner. It's what you're longing for. It's what you're dreaming about here, Virgo. And so I would say use that whole first week while you can, while Venus is still here, which you can make the most out of it, because Venus will then be joining the group there in the 8th house with all the other planets there. And so it will go deeper into its material. But for right now, it's just balancing the dream state of the Piscean energy here that Venus is pronouncing. Jupiter is still in your 1st house. It is retrograde and it will be there till late summer. However, though, what Jupiter is doing for you is trying to expand your field, not just of vision, but your whole persona now is wanting to grow and expand and implement new things, new excitement and so forth. And so you will have this until sometime there, I believe September, I think it is, when Jupiter then will be visiting your second house and working on your financial income state for the following year. So right now, it's just a very, very nice time. Probably one of the best times in the 12-year cycle of Jupiter, because this relates directly to you, your personality. So you might find yourself that much happier and that much more enthusiastic for the time being. But we have a couple of retrogrades that are going to take place here in April. We have Mars first, which is going to turn retrograde on the 18th and will remain there to June 29th. It will be in your 4th house for home, family, real estate, property, and so forth. Then we have Pluto will turn retrograde on the 19th. So nearly on the same time, both Mars and Pluto, but Pluto will be retrograde to September 26th. Pluto is in the area here for you in the 5th house, so you might come to see how Pluto will be working with your own inner level of creativity, your self-expression, but it could also be within love relationships, which the 5th house also pertains to, and your children. So under this period, you will see how things now are going to start working and shifting and trying to catch up with itself. Then we have Mercury will go retrograde at the very end of the month on the 29th. So here for you, well, you don't want to sign any documents if you don't have to. If you must, you must. But we don't really like to purchase new things either under a Mercury retrograde because they can tend to come out faulty. And then you're just going to have to go return it. So that's from the 29th of April and then approximately 3.5 weeks. But let's start out here at the beginning of the month. On the 5th, the Sun and Saturn, they're trine. For you, that is the essence of you, and then Saturn, which has to do with your inner sense of mastery. It's the challenges, the life lessons, and life purposes that we have. And for you, Saturn being in the 4th house, well, the Sun is coming from the 8th, so it might pertain to monies coming in or security that's coming in, but you're going to find something that you've been working for coming together on the 5th. On the 7th, we have that new moon, and the new moon is in your area of relationships. So that's the time when we put down our intentions, right? And your intentions for this month, which will last and linger for a whole entire year, is whatever it is you find personally that's important. Perhaps spending more time with your partner or spending more time in this way. This would be what you would want. On the 7th, it is in the 8th house. So the sharing between the two of you and speaking about financial situations, especially how you share your resources, how you save your monies, what future goal can you put in. And because some couples find it very sensitive to talk about money. But you will find under this new moon that it comes easier than at other times. And then you can make that inner promise, the intention of, let's not be overly sensitive. Let's talk about this more as we proceed. Great intention to have. On the 9th, we have the Sun and Uranus. Uranus always brings the unexpected. Uranus for you is currently cruising in your 8th house also. So when the Sun is there, you can expect the unexpected that has to do with news coming from your partner, your banker, your investment broker, whoever that may be, but it's like a key in the door on the 9th. On the 12th, we have Venus and Mars. They're doing the dance where they're really working together really well. Venus rules money, but it rules love too, and Mars as well. So this could be a very nice and romantic day. However, it could also be money. News about money, especially because we saw something coming to the surface there on the 9th. So whatever that may be for you, it's a great day, as is the 14th, when Mercury delivers news about something that Jupiter wants to present. When we have a trine and a beautiful aspect like this, then the news should always be good, because Jupiter is abundant. Jupiter is generous, right? It could be you and the generosity of your own heart. I can't talk today. But it could be the generosity of your own heart too, coming to the forefront on the 14th. So I would like to say, pay attention between the 12th and the 17th, just because of these days. They're absolutely beautiful here, Virgo, because on the 17th, Mercury will then join with Pluto in the same harmonious way, delivering good news that actually has something to do with transformation. Now, Pluto for you is in the 5th house, so good news coming from you to one of your children or vice versa. Or if you're working, perhaps say on a project, a creative project, well then this will also be a day where you're going to see something coming to the surface or blossoming. We'd like to add the 18th just because Venus and Saturn also doing the trine, so you can see straight through the 12th through the 18th. They're all coming together here, delivering to you great news, Venus being love, or also money matters, coming in with Saturn, 4th house, family, parents, and so forth, real estate. Now, since we have a lot of that 4th and 8th house going on for you here in April, I wouldn't be surprised if many of you are looking into get a new mortgage, refinance, get a better interest rate. That kind of thing could definitely show up here. But it could also be money payouts. If you have an insurance payout, then this could also be a day of that kind of news as well. But on the 19th, you want to kind of lay a little low. There might be something here that you heard or that came to the forefront, which yet needs to be tweaked a little bit. And that's because Venus is square on Pluto. So that could be a disagreement or something that doesn't sit too well with you on the 19th, but I feel it's not going to linger more than like 3 days, and then it's a done deal, and you've got it in box, and then you feel that you have regained control over that situation. Because there's great unexpected news there on the 22nd, Venus and Uranus. This is also a time for new love, might just come out of nowhere, which we oftentimes see with this kind of aspect. Then we have the 22nd, we got the full moon here, Virgo, and for you, your full moon will be in the 3rd house, which has to do with communication, has to do with written documents and so forth, anything that has to do with you and communication. If you are to give a presentation or have an interview here on this day, do know that that full moon is going to illuminate this area and you will be in the limelight of it. So April, for the most part, is a month where we see that things are really going to be super smooth. This is coming in after both those eclipses there in March. So you will definitely start seeing now how things are going to come, how the universe is wanting to deliver to you all the new goodies, so to speak. So you might want to listen to your horoscopes just to see, get more information on how that will play into the picture for you. And I will see you next month. Have a good one now.